Hey bruh, sometimes those sexual desires be coming out of you like a demon. When you're on that no fap for too long,
oh my god, I feel so good.
it leads you to doing shit like this. And that's kinda what today's story is about. The consequences of a man's inability to control his desire to breed. The great chronicle of the human race, the very experience of being the apex species on the earth. What may seem like a pleasant story, in fact, was a very excruciating tale. The collective human existence went through years of evolution, years of breeding, conflict, war, depression, tears, recessions, pain, not having an ego to jerk their cocks off to. Wait, what the fuck? In the darkest of times, what seemed like a millennium of pain, the human existence persisted on, making the intolerable sacrifices in their lives, dangling in the midst of a chasm of obscurity, refusing to let go till their very last breath, hanging on to hope, all in order to move their species forward. And all for that to lead to people dying because they got caught masturbating in public. I'm so proud of our species, guys. I'm just so proud, dude. I love being human. But now, as for who that man with the inability to resist the need to satisfy his demon pipe is, well, let's say hello to our primary character, Frankfurt. Now the thing is that for the longest time in the past, way before this story happened, he tried to act like he was my internet daddy. Now, hold your horses. This was not some weird erotic roleplay server or whatever. Nah, you wouldn't catch me dead being unironically in one of those servers. Let's just say by daddy, he felt like he owned me. That my existence should be attributed to him and him only. And without going into the nitty-gritty details, in a sense, you could say that he's definitely a part of my story in that little corner of the internet, but unfortunately for him, however, he was far from the truth, because a man has his secrets to keep. But anyways, for as long as I've known him, he's slightly eccentric, and by that, I mean he e-dates! Instead of chasing women in his school or whatever, he chases them online. He was e-dating this girl, who for this video I'll call Hedith, who lived in the same area as he did, and they're like, their little relationship lasted for I don't even know how long. Everyone around him, including me, basically cringed at the pure sight of them doing e-couple stuff in-game. E-dating in and of itself was a rampant thing in this game that we played together, and a not so insignificant number of people unironically participated in this activity. And going into the rabbit hole just a little bit, let's just say there's some heinous crimes. The Frankfurt x Hedith ship went on for a little while as time passes. So let me set a scene. One day, it's after school, and I've arrived home. No homework, so I have nothing to do. What do? Well, I turn on the PC, open the Discord app, and hey, let's see what's going on in this public server I was in. I look for a little bit, and then decide. Ooh, there's this VC with like 8 people in it. Let's join it and see what they're talking about. I join, and right off the bat, within the first couple of seconds, I was hearing shit about somebody's phone number floating around. I'm like, what the yo, what is going on here? I see that my homie is also in the VC listening in, so I start to DM him. Yo, what in the fuckering is going on here? He responds. So basically, Frankfurt got his phone number and name leaked by another person who was also in this little community. Oh nah, what the hell? I go like, yo, that's fucked, mate. And then we both start to talk about how it's messed up to leak someone's phone number in the way that it was leaked. All the while, Frankfurt and the 4 other people in the VC were just chatting. When I was done DMing my homie, Frankfurt mentions how he's talking with a particular someone on, quote, what to do. The thing about this someone is that they have a reputation. Without going into details, this someone was a third worlder, and I'm not trying to use that word as an insult, that had internet access, involvement in the dark web, very shady dealings, and most importantly, the ability to get someone's personal information. How the actual leaking happened, at least according to what the other people in the VC said, went a little something like this. Frankfurt and Edith, despite being in an online relationship, actually went on a date IRL, surprisingly, since, as I've mentioned, they lived in the same state. Now, from the little I know about the situation, the date actually, well, it went well. Despite Frankfurt's probable awkwardness, when you stop to consider he's only ever been in relationships. Some time then goes by. Edith, in a call with some other people, said out loud a string of numbers. And though it took some people a bit to notice, what that string of numbers that Edith was saying was, well, it was Frankfurt's phone number. Something caused her to be ashamed of the fact that she was dating him, so she decided to leak it. One of the guys in the VC happened to be in the call, which was a Discord call, I should remind you, on a PC. So what he did was that he clipped Edith with like NVIDIA or something. I don't know. My PC's ass. I don't have it. He clipped Edith saying the number, and he sent the clip to the GC. Then someone else in that GC took that video and sent it to the other GCs they were in, causing Frankfurt's information to further leak. And furthermore, what's more is that one of the guys in the VC who was in a call where the number got leaked actually recorded a snippet of the interaction and posted it to YouTube. I myself actually watched the video later on, and I cannot remember anything from it apart from people going like, "Yo!" At this point, I'm still unaware of a lot of the details surrounding how the number got spread. Some random account joins the VC. The guy in the VC before initially disregards their presence, and for someone who joined a voice chat just not to speak, it's only fair. Now the thing about this particular someone that I mentioned before was that, as I've known him, was a very toxic person. Not like in personality, I've talked with the guy, he's funny as hell. But like, in his actions. His demeanor came off as the type who really wanted to assert their dominance over you at any given time. And a friendly reminder that this was a guy who that the mostly mild and effeminate Frankfurt wanted to get involved in this messed up situation. And the people in the VC were also contending that, saying that the situation would be made worse with that particular someone's involvement, since Frankfurt also did some leaking of private information of his own. Frankfurt then goes like, "I didn't leak shit." Someone else goes like, "You did leak shit." Ooh, who could that be? After about a minute of a long silence when this conversation was moving at the speed of Usain Bolt, that mysterious account finally spoke, and the first words coming out of its mouth accused him of leaking someone's shit. And they followed that up with turning on their camera, and lo and behold, the VC starts to go wild. A little box pops up on my screen showing some girl walking around with a phone in her hand. It's Edith. At the same time Edith revealed herself, the people in the VC figured out that one of them amongst themselves was responsible for the further spread of Frankfurt's personal details and started to call him out. After that, what Edith does was walk into a room and turn her camera around to reveal someone. The mastermind, the puppet master, the one responsible for putting all the Frankfurt shit on blast, was this wee little boy. So the thing about Edith was that she actually didn't play the game that all of us played, meaning that I have no idea how she and Frankfurt met, but at this point in the game's history, just like most other video games out there, the player base was almost entirely made up of people who had a wax stick. How she got roped into this sinkhole of a community was through her younger brother who played the game, and that's who he says is her girlfriend. Huh? Boyfriend? Hello? I'm questioning myself. Okay, so either one of two things could be going on. So either A, I got my information mixed up and I'm starting to lose it, or B, what I'm witnessing at this present moment is incest. Simple and clean. And honestly, that incest thing might just be true. For one, the area that Hedon and Frankfurt met up in was in a region where this type of relationship wasn't the hardest thing to find, and by this I mean the one between Edith and her brother. And then two, the chick was chopped. Listen, I don't go running around and calling chicks a chopped, not because I'm trying to be a nice guy or whatever, but because of personal beliefs. But here, I'm saying it because in this situation, it's too noticeable for me to be able to ignore it. And what's worse was that she posted a selfie in that same Discord server, and many others on that server, mostly being young boys, went like, "Oh my god, what a baddie!" and basically showing how down bad and starved for pussy they are. Okay, we good? Good. Now, back to the story. The VC goes on calling her an asshole and warning her that her and her new boyfriend slash brother are gonna get their asses doxxed. She says exactly one time, "I don't care," and proceeds to do her hair whilst the VC argues amongst themselves. My homie calls her a dumb bitch, because, well, it's customary, I guess. Not an insult that I would use when the subject is female, but oh well. I, at this point, wasn't saying anything, mostly because I was still like, yo, hello? What kind of theater production is this? Brother, what am I witnessing? I'm trying to make sense of what's going on. All the while, Edith is like walking around her room while the VC is in utter chaos, and oh my god, dude. I'm unironically seeing fucking Minecraft stickers on the walls of this room. And keep in mind, at this point in time, the little brother, who I'm going to call Aiden from now, who I think that's his room, was about a 14. Slight caveat, but people in the VC at this point were arguing left and right about how this quote-unquote 9-year-old kid was going to get his shit ran through. But later down the line, I found out for sure that this kid was 14 at the time. I don't know what you were obsessed with at 14, but 14 for me was the beginning of my edgy phase. I just got invested into observing autistic Twitter drama. Before you start to hate me, I gotta let you know one thing. A man has gotta admit when he's wrong. But what I'm also admitting was that I didn't decorate my damn room with a Minecraft stickers at the beginning of high school for me. Anyways, not too long after, Edith's account gets the ban hammer swung on her. Turns out, Frankfurt asked the mod to ban her, and the mod obliged. After the whole chat of the VC started to die down, it eventually was left to me, my homie, and Frankfurt. And at this point, we were talking about how it was messed up, the whole situation with Edith, and me and my homie were talking about how we are going to be a part of the force for good in this planet and stand up for him. Except no. In retrospect, nowadays, we'd both just point and laugh our asses off at Frankfurt for being an eater who got his shit leaked as if it were Girls Gone Wild in 2005. If, of course, you catch my drift. Irrelevant detail, but later on, Aiden tried to e-date a girl himself. Oh wow, the plague is coming full circle. What he did with this girl was slide in her DMs with a smooth talk, before proceeding to send a picture of his cock with a ruler next to it. Truly mesmerizing. Fellas, if you ever want to attract that lady right into your arms, the thing to do is to send her a picture of your personal human, a joystick, with a ruler next to it. I'm actually joking, please do not. But before I end this video that took me way too long to make, I have exactly one statement to make. And that is, I don't know whether that chick was his sister or not. I don't know whether Edith was Aiden's sister or not. I'll explain. Edith, at least on that day that Frankfurt's phone number got leaked, appeared to be some form of white. Maybe not precisely, but in the video, she looked like she was some form of European ancestry. However, through a very messed up situation that happened later down the line with Edith's supposed brother Aiden, a bunch of information about him was leaked, including his face, address, and a particular video of him interacting with his sister on cam. I see it's some Asian looking girl playing with her brother who's holding the camera. What's more was I was actually in VC one time when Aiden was in the VC as well, and he happened to turn on his camera and show the VC his sister live. And, once again, she looked more to be some kind of Asian. So, to this day, I'm still wondering, yo, was that his sister or not? Is his sister secretly a race bender and can transform her race? If so, can she become black? But all of those are irrelevant questions either way. At the end of the day, some things are just not to be known. But here's one thing to know. Whatever it is you do out there, men and women of the internet, please do not get yourself entangled into an e-relationship. Sure, you may be feeling a bit lonely and a bit down on your luck when it comes to dating the opposite gender, but trust me when I say this, there's a relationship out there for you, and that relationship is not gonna come from the fucking internet. It's whatever. At the end of the day, I wished all of those involved in this situation nothing but peace. I'm out of here. Deuces.